Hey there, folks. Today we're going to deep dive on the California e-mobility laws of 2026. A comprehensive overview of regulation governing electric bicycle, e-moped, off-road motorcycle, and e-scooter in California. These are the passed and effective law as of January 1, 2026. Senate Bill 1271. It is the Battery Safety Act. It mandates that all e-bikes, e-motos, e-mopeds, e-scooter should be certified under the UL 2849 or EN 1594 for all bikes and batteries sold in California. Number 2 is AB 544 or the Visibility Act. Its mandate a red rear reflector or light visible from 500 feet at all times. Number 3 is Senate Bill 586 or the OHB classification for e-motos without pedals like Talaria, Suron, Y-Volt are classified now as OHB, off-highway vehicles, and requires a green sticker. Thus, the passed law as effect January 2026. The third bills are proposed and still under deliberation. The first one is Assembly Bill 1942, potential DMV registration and license plate for Class 2, Class 3 e-bikes. AB 2234, a local pilot program allowing age restriction. Example, no riders under 12 years old. 3 is AB 1557, a proposal to lower the Class 1 and 2 speed limit to 16 miles per hour from 20 miles per hour before in a specific zone. Next, we are going to discuss the usage and access right. Under the e-bike Class 1 to 3, they can access public road. Licensing is not required. Registration no proposed. For e-moped, public road access, yes, street only. License requirement, M1, M2, and if you have Class C, you don't need M1 or M2 for e-moped. Registration, you need a DMV plate. Off-highway vehicle, e-moto. There's no public road access. That's why they call it off-highway. License, no, but there's an asterisk on it. Registration, it requires green sticker. Another topic that we're going to take and to discuss is the do's and don'ts for electric riders, specifically the e-bike, e-moped, OHB, and scooter riders. First thing, you need to know your classification. Identify whether your ride is a Class 1, Class 2, or 3 e-bike. An e-moto like Suron or an e-moped has a different legal requirements. Under the do's, you should obey traffic signs. This is very important. Always follow standard road rules, including stopping completely at stop sign and yielding where indicated. Always yield to a pedestrian, whether on the pedestrian lane or on the street. Third, verify legal status. Ensure your specific vehicle model is California legal. for a specific path or road you are using. Fourth, stay alert for law enforcement. Be aware of local police presence and ensure you are operating within the vehicle code to avoid being pulled over. What are some of the don'ts for electric rider? Don't ignore traffic signal. Do not blow through yield sign or stop signs, as this is a primary reason for law enforcement intervention. Don't ride unregistered motos as bike. Avoid treating high-powered e-motos like standard bicycle. California laws distinguish between these based on top speed and motor wattage. Last but not the least, don't assume all paths are equal. Do not take e-moped or e-motos on a dedicated bike path unless they meet the specific e-bike classification allowed for that area. Now we are going to discuss e-scooter. In California, electric scooters are strictly prohibited on sidewalk and must generally be operated on the road or in a designated bike lane. The primary law governing their use are found in California Vehicle Code CVC 21235, where you can and you cannot ride a e-scooter. Sidewalk prohibited. Riding on a sidewalk is illegal through California. The only exception are when you entering or leaving an adjacent property or to a park the scooter. Second is bike lane preferred. You must use class 2 bike lane whenever one is available. Third, under e-scooter, roadway limited. You may ride on the street only if your posted speed limit for motor vehicle is 25 miles or less. You should stay as close at the right-hand curb as possible. Highway prohibited. E-scooter are not allowed on the highway. Okay, the key California e-scooter regulation. Speed limit maximum is strictly 15 miles an hour regardless of the road speed. Licensing, you must possess a valid driver's license or learner permit for any class. Age limit, riders must be at least 16 years old to operate an e-scooter. Helmet, mandatory for riders under age of 18, while not legal required for adult, they are strongly recommended. Passenger, you are not allowed to carry passenger, only person per scooter. DUI laws, it is illegal to operate an e-scooter while under the influence of drug or alcohol. That include all e-bikes, e-motos, OHB, e-mopeds. Traffic rules and safety for e-scooter. Follow vehicle rules. E-scooter are subject to the same traffic laws as bicycle, including stopping at the red light and stop sign. Left turn. For safety, e-scooter riders are often required to stop at the right curb. Dismount. Left turn. For safety, e-scooter are often required to stop at the right curb, dismount, and cross the road on the foot when making left turn. Equipment. For night riding, e-scooter must have white front headlight visible from 300 feet and rear side reflector. Parking. E-scooter must be parked in a way that does not block pedestrian traffic or walkway. Violation of these laws, such as riding on the sidewalk or exceeding 15 miles, typically result in a traffic ticket ranging from $200 to to 250 US dollar. Last but not the least, as I promised, we are going to discuss the difference between the inline amps and the phase amps. In the context of electric vehicle and motor controller, the distinction between line amps and phase amp is critical for understanding performance and protecting your hardware. The motor controller acts like a variable voltage transformer or a buck converter, stepping down the high voltage of the battery to lower voltage needed by the motor at low speed. Because power P equals B multiplied by I must remain roughly balanced between the input and output. Lowering the voltage allows for a massive increase in current on the motor side. So line amps, under location, it is the flow between the battery and the controller. Phase amp for motors, it is the flow between the controller and the motor phase. Measurement. Line amps is measured as DC current, while phase amp measured as AC current in the 3-motor wire. Primary effect. Under line amps, determine the total power and battery drain. Under phase amp, it determines the torque and motor heat. Typical ratio. Under line amps is often set as baseline 1 multiply. Under phase amp, it's usually 2 times to 3 times higher than the battery amps at low speed. Why phase amp matters for your build. Low-end torque, increasing your phase amp limit will give you more punch from a standstill and better hill climbing ability. Heat management. While battery amps drain your pack, phase amp heat up your motor. Pushing phase amp too high can melt motor winding or blow the MOSFET in your controller. Saturation point. Motor have a physical limit where adding more phase amp no longer creates more torque, only more heat. Speed relationship. At low speed, the gap between the battery and the phase amp is largest. As you reach top speed and the PWM duty cycle hits 100%, the two value eventually converge. Common rule of thumb. Many DIY builders start with a ratio of 2:0:1 or 2:5:1. Example, 50 amps battery equals 125 phase amp. If the bike feels jerky and lurches too hard at the start, you can lower the phase current or initial start current. Percentage too smooth out of the throttle response. I think that's all for now. Enjoy riding and have a safe ride.